I want to start with an apology on behalf of the British state to each and every one of you, and indeed to all of the families affected by this tragedy. It should never have happened. The country failed to discharge its most fundamental duty to protect you and your loved ones, the people that we are here to serve, and I am deeply sorry.
Sir Keir Starmer has apologised on behalf of the British state for the failings around the Grenfell disaster that cost 72 lives. He spoke to a very quiet and hushed House of Commons this lunchtime as the landmark report was published. He says the people involved and the families and the victims have been very badly let down before, during and in the aftermath of the tragedy. He says now that the companies that have been named and shamed in that report will be written to, and they will no longer be awarded government contracts. The government will now look at all 58 recommendations that were delivered in the report, and they say they will respond as swiftly as possible. One thing that Sir Keir Starmer did point out very, very clearly, that he hopes full accountability will be held for anyone responsible in the disaster, and they will go through the criminal justice system, and that process should happen as quickly as possible. One of the key points that Sir Keir Starmer made this lunchtime was about the unsafe cladding that is still attached to buildings. He said it is still on those buildings, and it's been on those buildings for far too long, and he will move with his government as quickly as possible to remove that. There are still many thousands and thousands of people still living in those buildings. So not only did Sir Keir Starmer make a statement to the House of Commons this time, but there's the opportunity of Rishi Sunak to respond to the inquiry's findings. And what he said was damning in itself. He described the Grenfell inquiry report as a damning indictment of 30 years of successive state failures, and that obviously crosses the political divide. He said the work of the inquiry has painted a picture of systemic indifference, failure, and in some notable cases, dishonesty and greed. One of the most poignant moments during Sir Keir Starmer's comments to MPs is that he revealed for the first time that he made a private visit to Grenfell just a few weeks ago. He revealed that he laid a wreath, he saw some of the burnt walls, and explained how it must have been absolutely terrifying for the people trapped inside that tower that night to escape. And I think that's when it really brought home to MPs just how terrifying the moments in that tower were on that fateful night.